Always felt that the image and the visual representation of Muslims is basically getting worse. Who is defending us? If we allow people to make these films, if we allow people to carry on just like, and we don't counter the narrative, if we don't have our views and opinions, education, our message portrayed and produced and told in the same language, I thought I would make some videos on YouTube and I would get some lectures. I will translate them into European languages, and then these people can start to understand a bit more about Islam. But then I believe Allah had other plans for me. He took me from one point to another point, and then I ended up getting onto films because I helped to create a technology. And before I know it, within a very short period of time, compared to many people, I've ended up working on Oscar award-winning feature films. You know, The Favorite, which was nominated for an Oscar just last. So let's say it's very clear, it's very, very clear for Muslims that we don't like our image. We don't like our image in the news, in films. Then how are you going to change it if you're not making the films? It doesn't make sense.
هل واجهتك مشاكل كونك متمسك بتعاليم الإسلام وبسنة النبي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم؟ هل واجهتك مشاكل في عملك؟
You know, there are difficulties on the journey, for sure. Like, you know, you will have opportunities to shoot things, but as a Muslim, you can't. So, you know, you'll be offered commercials without, you know, where you're like alcohol commercials or things which you don't feel morally comfortable shooting. And sometimes like people will not approach you, or they will not give the job to you because maybe the way you look, maybe because you didn't shoot something before and you said no, so they may not hire you again. But it's very, very important for Muslims to understand that when you have tawakkul in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for me, my formula for success is that I put in I make my intention. When you make I make my intention, I make my dua, I put so much effort, like crazy amount of effort, everything I can possibly do, and then sacrifice. And then like I do these things, and every step of the way, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then opens other doors. So this is the thing. So having that importance of tawakkul and effort and sacrifice and dua is important.
سبحان الله الآية ومن يتق الله يجعل له مخرجا ويرزقه من حيث لا يحتسب ومن يتوكل على الله فهو حسبه. سبحان الله. مثل القصة.
The dua that my dua that I always ask is حسبي الله لا إله إلا هو وعليه توكلت وهو رب العرش العظيم. If you're going to argue with someone, then argue with them in a way that's better. Call to the way of your Lord with wisdom and beautiful preaching, right? This is like, so if this is the wisdom now, the cameras are here, these are the tools that we're looking at, you know, this is how people are getting information. So then documentaries is one form, advertising, small, you know, commercials are one form.
اعذرني شيخ رضوان، أبي أسألك هذا السؤال. يعني أنت تعمل في المجال السينمائي والميديا، لماذا ما زلت محافظ على هذه اللحية؟
I keep it because one, it's a reminder for me. Two, that when people see it, that they can see a Muslim. When they see me, they need to look at me and think, that's a good Muslim. You know, that's the best. He's the best at what he does. He's a Muslim, and, you know, go to this guy. So if Steven Spielberg or, you know, David Fincher or any of these big directors, they want to come to use any of the equipment that I've designed, any of the things that I've worked with the companies that I've worked with to develop this technology, if they need that support, if they want it to work, they call me.
شيخنا، ما هي طموحاتك في هذا المجال؟ ما الذي تريد أن تصل إليه؟
I think it's very important strategically for Muslims to understand the power of film. They need to understand that you need to value film in terms of investment in film. So what I want to create is potentially, I would say, a film fund, something where, you know, the money comes in and then is distributed to different filmmakers. Because for myself as one filmmaker, I can maybe make 1, 2, 3, I don't know how long my life is, but it's very important for me to for us to create something where other filmmakers can tell stories about maybe war or poverty or success or religion or history. And so I want to create something. I see myself being more of an exec producer and getting to a position where I am basically helping to make more and more productions. We have the talent, alhamdulillah. We have a lot of Muslims that are talented in, you know, in England and USA, all over the Western countries. It's emerging more and more with like YouTube and DSLRs and all of these things. So they have the ability to do it, but they just don't have the funding. And it's very important that the money will always dictate the message. Not just about funding films, but thinking about how do you make money from those films? Because Sadaqah Jariyah, right, is good to give money, charity is done, you made a project, but how do you have something that's just not just sustainable, but profitable?